So just coming from my storage area, so this is North Perth storage. So with my Turo cars, what I do is I store them over here, which I know sounds crazy, but it takes some of the onus or the stress out of where I live. So if I get somebody in who's dropping a car off at 2 in the morning or picking a car up at 2 in the morning, it causes an issue with neighbors and a host of people that you would go, what does it matter, right? But if I were in the GTA or if I were in Kitchener or Waterloo, it wouldn't even be an issue. But what I find is if I put my vehicles over here, it's a gated space. It's got security cameras. It's well lit. It's a gated entry, so lots of security, which is really nice. I do a drop box anyway, so you have to have an access code to get into the car to get the key. So I basically do, a handshake over the phone type deal, and they're off and running. I do a license verification. Again, we do it online, not a problem. When they pick up the vehicle, usually 9 times out of 10, most people are concerned, so they're going to do photos and send them to me anyways. So it's one of those things where it really takes the onus off of me having to be at a particular spot at like 1 o'clock. I work nights, so any time during the day is always just a little sketchy for me. So it works out really well from that standpoint. Now the other one is it works really well for the clients. So I'll get a client that's either an hour late or 15 minutes or 2 hours late, or they came after shift instead of the beginning of shift. Like that happens a lot. So I'm not really all that concerned about it because again, they have a key pass, they're paying for it anyway. So in other words, the billing starts right at the time they basically scheduled the vehicle. It doesn't start the time they pick it up. So if they said we're doing a 1 o'clock pickup time, great. And they don't show up till 4, well, 3 hours of being billed. Like it is what it is. So it's just one of those things where having a drop location and a pickup location outside your residence is kind of nice. The other one with my insurance, my broker gave me a bit of a deal. So again, because they're off-site and they're secured, and it kind of guarantees that I'm not really joyriding in them all the time, which I really don't. Like that's not an appealing factor for me. So it's one of those things where it works out really well. So the cost for me to have a spot outside my residence is actually pretty reasonable, and the bonus for it is a lot less headache. So it's one of those things, if you're running Turo, you need to look at the idea, if you're going to go, like I'm trying to get to 4 cars, you're going to go 4 cars, unless you're in a large home with a big driveway and you don't have a community that's going to hassle you or going to give you a hard time, I would say that would be